Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. Jacques. What's up, folks? What is good? What up, Bleacher Report? What's good, y'all? What is happening? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is your way. As you all know, again, the Tennessee Titans, looking at the offseason, Jacques, we're here, of course. The season is over. Kansas City beating the 49ers in the Super Bowl on Sunday. So now the offseason is officially here. So, Jacques, we definitely want to talk about that for sure, man, about free agencies and for the free agent market that we have right now and some of the targets that are available, which starts in a month. So that's where we at, Jacques.
Yes, sir. And like you said, man, appreciate Bleacher Report again giving us this opportunity. And we are officially, well, you say officially to the offseason. I would say yes, but it doesn't officially start, I think, until March. Yep. But we are, as fans, as analysts, as people, we are officially here. We Super Bowl is done. Now it's time to get down to business. So,
yep.
So, all right. So, Hope, let's get this party started. I'm trying to get my stuff plugged in.
All right.
So, as of today, we know free agency is starting to kick up, the talks, the speculation and everything. As of today, if you were picking and free agent started, what would be your top priority and who would be your top free agent target in free agency this year?
So, Jacques, man, I want to say offensive line is my top priority, right? As far as getting a free agent here that could do something and make a big difference. Because we all know the Tennessee Titans struggle was on the offensive line. But when I look at the offensive line list, even when I look at the top 10 or even top 15, and Jacques, we said this weeks ago, there's not a lot of good offensive linemen out there that are free agents, man. And it's not a lot that I would put a lot of cash on. At least that's what I see. I don't see a lot. So the next thing that I'm looking at is, of course, on offense, I'm looking at wide receiver. So I keep hearing names that are being thrown out there as far as free agents. Jacques, I'm going to tell you for me, man, I'm going with the Tennessee born and raised, though he played at Clemson, from Tennessee, East Tennessee at that. I'm going T. Higgins, man. Clearly, Cincinnati is not going to sign him, right? He's already kind of thrown some mentions out there about going somewhere else. He was a Titans fan growing up. I would prefer an offensive lineman, but if I'm like, okay, if we need a prime position on offense in particular for right now, based on the team that we have, I'm going T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins will provide us a true wide receiver, number one. You pair him with D-Hop. He learns even more from D-Hop over the next year or two. You can add more receivers to that. But, man, you got a bona fide receiver out there in T. Higgins who's already been productive with other weapons on his team. He still was very productive. So I would say for me, it's T. Higgins, bro. What about you, Jacques?
You remember I told you that weeks ago. I know we had a personal conversation about that. And I think also I sent you some stuff. When he was at the Super Bowl talking about Brian Callahan and how he's worked with him, and it'd be nice to kind of pair back up with him. That's indications that talks are probably being had in the background. And this is not nothing confirmed, people, so don't take this. Just take it with a grain of salt. But it's just my opinion. I think talks are being had in the background, and they're trying to come up with a way or a plan or the price tag. You're trying to figure out money, crunching numbers, how much we're going to pay him a year. If they don't franchise tag him, then yeah, he'll most likely 90%, maybe 95% chance of becoming a Tennessee Titan. And I mean, that'll upgrade your receiver room, because if we look at how Brian, the Cincinnati Bengals receiver room is structured, they have three great receivers. They got Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, right? And so I believe Brian wants to replicate that same formula, and he wants to bring that here as well. So if you bring in T. Higgins, I do them like this. 1A is 1A would be D-Hop, and 1B would be T. Higgins, right? And then you got your third receiver, whatever direction you want to go. But I believe, man, like you said, an offensive line, I don't think the free agency market is I wouldn't break the bank with O-line and free agency, if that just makes sense. I would actually, if I did, I would bring in a depth player. But from a free agent standpoint, T. Higgins, man, he a Titan, man. I know we're over speculating right now. We're super confident, but it just makes too much sense.
For sure, Jacques, for sure. Facts, no paper. For those that are watching on Bleacher Report, we got the poll out there. If you're watching this on any other platform, you won't see that out there. This is on Bleacher Report. So we do have that poll out there as well. We want to know what you all think too. So Jacques, so looking at this as well too, man. So it looks like you and me both are saying receiver as far as a free agent market or target for us early, maybe even often. So looking at that, we definitely are looking at our offensive line as far as improvement. So we both are saying O-line needs help for sure. So would you say we should draft an offensive lineman early or often within the draft, or to try to sign the best free agent offensive lineman, whether it be, 2 or 3 guys or whatever? What do you think we should do, man?
So again, the mixed part of it is you can draft one. You can either draft one with the 7th pick or the second round pick, right? Because you want to get younger in that position. You want to have this offensive line. I like a young, growing offensive line because it takes some years to grow. They can grow together. The contracts are friendly. I would say if you can, if your guy's not there at 7, draft the offensive lineman. If your guy's there at 7, whoever your guy is, then you go in the second round and you draft another O lineman. So I would say draft one either way. Either way, you need to draft one, right? To get under here, to get under there and learn under Bill. I think it's Bill Callahan, and learn and just build and grow, right? So that's for me, man. Draft one early. And then I would even say this. I would even add to the mix. You don't have to break the bank with these free agents, offensive linemen. Yeah, they're going to ask for some money, but I would even say 1 to 2 year prove-it deal and be like, hey, we'll give y'all 1 to 2 prove-it deal to come in here and kind of be a depth player like Bronskill was, because that's how Bronskill was. Be a depth player, come in, do what you got to do, and then boom, we go, right? So that's for me. What about you, Hawk?
So, Jacques, those are great points, man. So if I'm looking to say improving on our offensive line and where we should do or what we should do, Jacques, I'm going to say the same, bro. I think it's in the draft. In the first round for sure. I know we're looking at a lot of mock drafts. There are a lot of teams there are a lot of mocks out there that have the Titans drafting receiver, even the tight end Brock Bowers. We're going to put that poll out there as well too. But what I look at too, man, is if any of those offensive linemen are available, the Penn State tackle Olu Fasimi, and also as well when you look at Joe Alt from Notre Dame, if they're available, you draft them. That's just what it is, right? You draft those guys. Now, the question is, will they be available? Who knows? If they're not available, Jacques, you do draft the best player available at that spot. And in particular, maybe it's a receiver, Bowers, whoever at that spot. Second round, you draft an offensive lineman. Third or maybe a fourth, we don't have a third round pick. Fourth round, you still might need to draft an offensive lineman. I want to bulk up our offensive line. I really do. I think that's the sore spot on our team. And to get young guys in here, man, and we got Bill Callahan here that can coach these guys up. Oh, man, dude, that's a winning formula. When you look at Kansas City, you look at the 49ers, they're in the Super Bowl because they got great offensive linemen. Even you look at the Super Bowl, those guys the quarterbacks were, ready to throw the ball at any point in time with not a lot of pass rush, right? The offensive line is where you start a foundation. It's like a house. If your foundation ain't right and the wind blows, your house is gone. We need linemen. So I want several linemen in particular, man. So that's where I'm at with that, man.
Okay. Yeah, great point. So we got a poll out there about who can be the breakout player for 2024 for the Titans.
Yes.
Who would be your breakout player? Who do you think that will have a breakout year?
Jacques. So shout out to you, man. As those who watch our YouTube show, we talk about the draft. Jacques the entire time say, hey, Hawk, we need Tajay Spears, bro. We need to draft that joke. We need to draft him. We need to draft him before the Titans drafted him, right? And then, I did see one game, and then Jacques sent me some highlights. Then I saw the final bowl game he had against USC. And I was like, this dude is special, bro. This guy's special. Then what made it great was the preseason. Jacques, what did I tell you? I said, look, first series he played.
Take him out.
I said, I've seen enough. Rest him. Do not get hurt in preseason. We need him. We need him. When you look at him as a rookie, he had over 1,000 yards of all-purpose yards. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I mean, when it comes to fantasy football, I'm not saying first round in your draft, but man, I'm telling you, boy, as far as RB2, you might want to look at Tajay Spears. I think Spears can be a breakout player for the Titans. I'm hearing he wants to have a different outlook of next year. They asked him if he's going to wear 22 because that's his favorite number. His way he wore in college. That's his dad's favorite number. He said, well, I can't wear the King's number, but I might have a different number, maybe a single digit, just a whole different outlook for next year. So look for Tajay Spears. he's one of those running backs like a Christian McCaffrey type, kind of a small back that's got power, speed, and quickness and can catch. It's Tyjae Spears for me, Jacques. That's my breakout player for 2024, dude. What about you, Jacques?
And I swear to God, people, we do not look off each other's papers, man. But that's my breakout player of the year because he was the most consistent rookie. Matter of fact, I'm gonna add him to the most consistent player we had last year. Every time he touched the ball, he was making some type of play. Every time he did something. He contributed as a rookie. 1, 2, like you said, 1,000 all-purpose yards. And the only reason he got that was because of the fact that he was splitting carries with the king. So imagine what he would have been able to do if he had the full load, right? He has the full package, man. He's your new prototypical running back of 2024. He's like Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, even Gibbs from the Lions. He has the potential to do the same thing. Austin Eckler. Those are the type of running backs that you see now that are tending to be what teams are looking for. So Tyjae Spears, to me, I know he's gonna have a breakout season. Again, like you said, I've been scouting this man before since last year's draft, man, and he's special. Senior Bowl, he showed out. So again, I think Tyjae, he put a single digit number on, he's gonna be clean, man. I think something does it with those single digit numbers, and it puts a different swag on you, if that makes sense. And I just feel like if he goes single digit, that's gonna be cold, man. That's gonna be real cold. So that for me is Tyjae, man. I think Tyjae is going to have a breakout season to the point where he's going to contribute in a heavy way, especially if the king doesn't come back, which I don't anticipate that happening.
Right. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. So, okay, cool. Well, those folks on Bleacher Report, man, facts, no paper, by the way, Jacques, as always, man. So looking at, as far as Bleacher Report, we do have the live chop up going on. If you're watching this on any other platform, the live chop up is there, but, we're not going to be able to see comments. But, right now, looking at the chat, if you have a comment that you want us to address or question, throw it out there, man. We'd be glad to address. I think we got something. We got a few on there, I think.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Right. From A. Murrow. So shout out to you.
What up?
I think it's easy when Derrick Henry is what people don't game plan for. You have to stop Henry. Everyone's game planning for it. So, A. Murrow, thank you for the comment. So they said that's easy when Derrick Henry is what people don't game plan for. You have to stop Henry if there's no Henry. Everyone's game planning him. He's out, man. Hey, shout out to you from Seattle, man. So we appreciate that. Shout out.
Tighten up, Nero.
That's hard being a Titans fan in Seattle country. But with this comment, man, again, people are game planning for the king. But I also think that Tyjae, again, every time he touched the ball, he was electric. He turned minus yards into positive yards. And you can't do that from a perspective of just a game planning perspective, right? That's just talent. Like, the kid got talent. He's shifty. He's quick. He maneuvers. Something we haven't had since people say Deion Lewis, but I'll say Chris Johnson. I'm not saying he's Chris Johnson, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sure. AL Jeezy says try being a Titans fan in Kansas City. I bet that's even more rougher.
I bet it is. But you know, one thing the Kansas City fans will probably say there in the city of Kansas City, though, LGZ, tell me if we're telling the truth. If there's one team, me and Jacques talked about this during the Super Bowl when we was watching the Super Bowl. If there's one team that gives the Kansas City Chiefs headaches, it's the Tennessee Titans. They own the AFC West, man. They're not when they see us, man, or maybe the Bills, they and the Bengals. Those are three teams that the Chiefs be like, man, we barely beat them when Malik Willis out there, right? It's like, man, what, so yeah, but shout out to those Chiefs fans in Kansas City. But hey, I can only imagine how it is there, bro. I can only imagine.
Being a 10, you wearing your jersey, and at least they kind, not like Eagles fans. No shade towards the Eagles fans. But I know that's rough being a Titans fan in Eagles country as well. So I can imagine, man. So that's interesting. Real interesting stuff.
It is.
Hulk, I know you mentioned something about Bowers in the comments that he said.
Yep. You want to talk about that, Jacques?
Let's chop it up about that real quick.
Okay. All right. So Brock Bowers, I think it's a smart move. I told you, I think it's a smart PR move by Brock Bowers. So Brock Bowers, a talented tight end who I've scouted since he was a freshman. Jacques knows this. I'm like, hey, 19, that freshman is special, bro. I said, he's going to be something. I said, from a tight end perspective, I said, that guy there can do something. So he mentioned about a week ago during the draft process, they were just asking questions. They asked him, who would you want to play for? Most players, 99% of players will say, man, whoever drafts me, I'm going to be happy wherever I go. He clearly said, I want to play for the Tennessee Titans. Now, that's an interesting comment from Brock Bowers. But you know what it is, though, Jacques? I'm going to tell you what I respect for him. The two things the Tennessee Titans need: blocking and receiving. Brock Bowers gives you both. Brock Bowers is not just a receiving tight end like Travis Kelce. Brock Bowers, he can block as well too. So he's not a hybrid. He's a tight end, right? And he has his ball skills, catching the football is unbelievable. Brock Bowers is a first-round pick as a tight end, which is rare. If he's there, he's available. I wouldn't be upset if we drafted him. I wouldn't want to go that high for a tight end. But you know who made the Super Bowl, bro? The Chiefs and the Niners. And what do they have? The best tight ends in the league, in Kittle and Kelce. So that tell you something, right? Especially when you have a Will Levis. And if your receivers aren't fast, you have that check down, and you got an unbelievable tight end. That's not bad, dude. That's not bad. What about you, bro?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a great PR stunt, and I think it'd be hard, man, to try to draft him. We'll have to literally pick up extra picks in order for us, or something will have to happen when he just drops. And I don't foresee that happening unless a team that is already complete needs a tight end. The Titans right now, we just have too much other things that are on our plate that need to be done. So, yeah, man, it's a great opportunity, and it would be nice if we had another. Now, I will say this. Let me say this. If the T. Higgins thing happens, then you do have the room to go and pick up the best player available, right?
Yeah.
You do, which that does present an option. It's like if you can shore up your receivers and you feel like, okay, we got Chig, we got Wiley, and add Brock to the fold, then you turn around and you have something pretty solid, right?
Thanks.
So that's my thoughts on it. It's like, okay, there's a way that it can happen.
Yes.
He has to prove it right now. So that's a risk like it's in.
Facts, Jacques. Facts. We appreciate everybody in the comment section, man. If you have not followed us on YouTube, follow us on Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're in these internet streets, man. Check us out, y'all. We out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then I know, again, like you had a discussion about the Kansas City and the Titans defense. If San Francisco should have watched the tape of when the Titans have played the Kansas City Chiefs throughout our time. Yeah. Our defense knows how to play that team. I do not know what it is. I don't know. It's the scheme. But if you're a team out there that you want to know how to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, or at least compete with them to the point where you put fear in their heart, watch the Tennessee Titans.
Facts.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Titans fan or Titans. And I'm not just saying that. I'm being like serious.
And we do the same with the Ravens too. We just got certain numbers out there. We just sort of contain their strengths. We kind of take it away. It's weird, but then we'll lose to a 3-14 Houston Texans team a year ago. Like things like that's weird. So yeah. Right. So we'll go another question out there. So Jacques, you and I discussed, man. I tell you this, man, about the Chiefs and the 49ers and looking at their team and things like that. What can we learn, bro? What can the Titans learn from those teams to say, man, this is how we're gonna get better?
That's a great question because I was thinking about this. What you can learn is how these teams built their teams through the draft. That's how they became this powerhouse, right? And from a Titans perspective, you have a little bit of everything from winning organizations. So Rand's coming from San Francisco. Our assistant GM, he came from Green Bay. You got our coach, Brian Callahan, who's come from Cincinnati. You got our defensive coach who's come from the Ravens. So I'm seeing a good little gumbo mix here of things that are happening to where you can pinch from each organization. But each organization that I've mentioned, they've done great at drafting. So you have to hit on the draft. You say this all the time, Hawk. You got to hit on the draft. You got to hit on the draft. I used to say that, and I kind of got away from it, but it's true. The draft is the most important thing because if you look at these teams, Brock Purdy drafted, Kittle drafted, McCaffrey traded, right? But he was already traded to a team that was missing a piece, right?
Yeah.
He was missing a piece. So the draft is 90%, and I say the other 10% is if you can build from that, do a free agency. But for me, I see a commonality between both teams. It's the draft. The draft. And especially on the Kansas City side, where they have receivers that they just drafted that are successful, right? Or at least being mediocre enough to where Patrick Mahomes can get them the ball, they can get like 5, 10, 15 yards. Yeah. What about you?
I say coaching, Jacques. When you look at Kansas City and San Francisco, when you look at their OC, DC, Andy Reid, and Steve Spagnuolo, it's Spagnuolo, he's an unbelievable coach. He used to be an OC. That's what's crazy. But as a DC, Steve Spagnuolo might be the best defensive coordinator we've seen in 10 years, man. Literally. Mm-hmm. He gets guys like L'Jarius Sneed and those guys go out there, man, and just play unbelievable, right? They're DBs, they're linebackers. They don't matter who they trade or who they draft. When they get guys in there, they just play out. It's crazy. Right. Then you look at the 49ers with Shanahan and Wilkes. These are, again, prime coaches here. So, looking at, Brian Callahan and his staff, can they get to that level? Can they make and develop players? See, Jacques, we talk about this all the time. And Jacques, you started this conversation about developing players. The 49ers and the Chiefs have done an unbelievable job in developing players. They got some of the same guys that's been there 3 or 4 years, and you see them from their rookie year to now. Trent McDuffie is probably the best corner in the free agency right now. Who heard of Trent McDuffie until last year, right? And now this year he's really solidified. Trent McDuffie's been a 3-year start out there. So they have built over time by developing and coaching. So that's what the Titans could learn from those teams, is to build from within, trust the process, and get it done, man. So, and
don't get rid of them year 2 or year 3. I know the culture is going to change in that aspect. Having Rand at the top, having and Callahan here, the culture is going to change. They know the problem. They're en route to fix it. So I have confidence that all those things that we just mentioned is going to happen to build a Super Bowl roster and ultimately get a Super Bowl to come in, a Nashville Super Bowl. So we can have a Super Bowl here in Nashville. We can host the Lombardi Trophy and say we did it.
Yep. So, all right, we'll go one more question, y'all, and we'll end the show. We'll go one more question.
A Merle comes through. What 3 players would you pick up? 1 resign, 1 offensive player, and 1 defensive player. So that's a great question. So Hawk, I think they're saying 1 player you resign. Who would you resign?
Yep. Okay, so that's a free agent.
I guess that's going to be a free agent on our team.
Well, on our team, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the defensive player, I'll go. The easiest for me first is Al-Shahir. He's the linebacker. Al-Shahir, you signed that joker. You signed him, right? He did his 1-year prove-it deal on offense as a free agent. Derrick Henry. I'm signing Derrick Henry. I mean, I'm looking at the offense. We got Nick Westbrook, a lot of guys, right? You got Ryan Tannehill, give me Derrick Henry. And 1 re-sign. I guess Danico Autry. That's why I'm re-signing, man. I'm bringing Danico Autry back. So Danico Autry, Derrick Henry, and Al-Shahir, the linebacker. What about you, Jacques?
Okay, so I'm reading this question. What 3 players would you pick up? 1 re-sign, 1 offensive. Okay, so my re-sign will be Al-Shahir. He's proved it, in my opinion. 1 offensive player that I would pick up if it was a free agency, as I told you, T. Higgins. And 1 defensive player that I'll pick up in free agency is Jalen Jones from the Chicago Bears. Jalen Johnson. I know people saying Sneed. I like Sneed. I like Sneed as well. Either one of them 2 are interchangeable. But we do need help. We talk about this, but we don't talk about it. We need help in that secondary to where we can solidify that secondary enough to where that pass rush, because we already got a pass rush. So,
all right.
Yeah,
that's understood the question.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah, good call, Jacques. Yeah, 1 offensive player is T. Higgins, what we talked about earlier. A defensive player, I'm going L'Jarius Sneed. That's what I want. I want Sneed on my team. That's a corner that I want, a straight ball hawk at corner. So those are the players that I would pick up as far as 1 offensive player, 1 defensive player. Resign. I would resign Al-Shahir, the linebacker. So.
Now look out for Geno. I think he's Geno. He's a safety for the Ravens. Not Geno. Is it Geno Smith? He's a safety. He's the safety for the Ravens.
For the Ravens, right? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That look out for him too. I'm just speculating. I ain't giving y'all no inside news, but I say look out. This tie here, look out for him. Be a Titan. T. Higgins to be a Titan. Linebackers, Isaiah Simmons, and also Patrick Queen from the Ravens as well.
Mm-hmm. So he can break out and be his own player because he's under the shadow of Roquan Smith for sure.
Hey, put him and Al together.
Yep.
Your team is upgraded super fast, man. You talking about excitement? Right. Oh yeah.
For sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, we want to say thank you all for watching the show and everything, man. We appreciate the chat as well. We had the chat on fire. We got the fire emojis out there, man. Great questions. Again, you can always check us out. We're on Twitter, Titans Weekly 24/7. We're on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on YouTube at Tennessee Titans Weekly as well. Hey, we are out on those internet streets. Bleacher Report, we appreciate it as well too. You know, if you don't follow us on Bleacher Report, you can follow us there as well too. We out there, Jacques.
Yes, sir. And when you do, follow us, man. Subscribe, share the content. And again, thank Bleacher Report for giving us this opportunity, and thank y'all for watching the show as well. And let's get on to the off season and let's have some fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you all have a great rest of your day. And Jacques, as we always say around these parts, man, facts.
No paper.